and welcome to Waste Breakfast. We all talk about everything governance, mental health, self-development, and of course, entertainment. My name is God's Beauty Israel, and I'm joined by my amazing co-anchor, Joy. Hi, girl.
Hello, Nigeria.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you, God's Beauty. How are you doing?
I think I have to actually process that, but I think I'm fine, actually. I just have,
fine.
like, a very rough, I think my evening was a bit rough, and my morning, this morning, I woke up and it was literally my alarm like woke me up, but I was like, bro, let me just sleep a bit, let me sleep a bit. And I don't know what nonsense dream I had. It's the dream that now woke me up. I'm like, no, I'm supposed to have woke up before now. So literally, I think I had like a very rough morning, but I mean, I'm good. How you doing, Joy?
Well, for me, it was more of an unstable evening. For me,
okay.
I had this terrible headache yesterday. It was really, really terrible, and I tried to. So I'm not the kind of person that the slightest pain I feel, I go for medications or I go to take a drug. No, I tend to let it be first. Let's see if after a day or two, three, it decides to calm down. I try to do my natural medications. That's like taking enough rest or trying to rest, drinking water, doing all of this stuff. So after doing all of this, it doesn't stop after 3 days, then I got to see a medical practitioner, and then I fall back to the drug medication. Aside that, I won't do it. So yesterday, I felt this terrible headache. It felt like my head wanted to break into pieces.
Really?
So when I got home last night, I said, okay, you know what? Let's end it. I had to close off for the day. I slept off. When I woke up, it was just a bit slight. I said, okay, maybe sleep is not enough yet. Let me sleep. And when I woke up this morning, it was a bit better.
I mean, look at you, and you're looking all gorgeous.
You don't want to
joy,
know.
joy.
You don't want to know. You do not want to know.
Wahala. I mean, I feel like today's topic is going to be interesting. Speaking of topic, the topic for today is the dynamics of social justice movement. But before we even start talking about it, let's quickly go and check what's going on around the globe. Please stay with us. You're watching Waste Breakfast. I'll be taking you on a captivating journey across Africa with The Punch, Nigeria's prime newspaper. The major headline read, electricity supply, manufacturers, labor tackle, federal government over 240% hike, insist on subsidy. Then 240 hike affect customers enjoying 20 hours supply. Brand B to E customers get subsidy. New tariff will send manufacturers out of business, worsening inflation, say labor, organized private sector. Below the newspaper, United States offer help to 9 die, 1,000 injured in Taiwan earthquake. Adeleke Abiodun hail Ebenezer Obey at 82nd birthday Thanksgiving. Federal government reopens Third Mainland Bridge. LASMA warns against speeding. Transcorp pre-tax profits jumps by 93%. Above the masthead, student loan, federal government plans pilot scheme for public institutions. Steady dollar supply pushes Naira to 1,262 to $1. Then we have custom Q1 revenue surpasses 1 trillion Naira, rise top 10 billion Naira seashore. At the top right side of the masthead, Delta bloodbath, surrender like Okoama, monarch. Chief to Justice staff tells suspected killers. And that's all on the headline for the Punch newspaper. The headline that piqued my interest is the headline at the bottom right of the newspaper that says federal government reopens Third Mainland Bridge, LASMA warns against speeding. So yes, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, that's LASMA, has warned motorists to observe speed limits when traveling along extensive section of the newly repaired Third Mainland Bridge. So this was disclosed in a statement issued by the agency spokesman at Debayo on Wednesday. So it's not just, the Third Mainland Bridge has been repaired and open. Thank God now there'll be no much traffic. See, traffic, mainlanders like me, I'll be like us.
I am so happy and excited
by
by this story, really.
Have you passed there?
No, I haven't actually passed, but I've seen video clips of it, and it's really looking beautiful. But
okay.
Nigerian being Nigerians, please let it last.
That's the thing. That's what I wanted to say. So it's not even by looking beautiful, it's by making sure that there was enough concrete and all of those things were well done, you know. they can actually make that place beautiful. It's not, I don't think it's actually hard to make something beautiful, but it's if that thing is going to last, you know. And again, I mean, stating to what the newspaper said, it's not even, now when it comes to road using, I don't think it's totally on the government. The citizens as well, the motorists. Because you see some drivers now, the way they would drive that road, you'll be wondering if their father was the one that actually did it. So, you know, the government have done their part, but I still think that the citizens should also do theirs. You should not pass your speed limits. Please drive well. Don't come and be doing fast and furious for us.
And not just speed limits.
Seriously,
alone. I also feel like you're not supposed to carry all these heavy trucks. I'm not supposed to even pass through that. You know that's why we have Echo Bridge.
Right.
So I'm not seeing reasons why they even need to take through that route, because I mean I feel like those weights also contribute to the road spoilage and everything. Definitely. So.
You know, speaking to that, there was a time where I was speaking to someone, because I feel like one of the reasons why we also have traffic around the mainland or going to the mainland is because of those trucks, you know. Yeah. Can they not like probably pass in the midlines where everywhere is...
Normally, that's how it's supposed to be in civil society.
According to some person, they say that's how it has always been. But, I mean, what happened? You know?
Well, Nigeria happened.
No, but seriously, I think they actually need to implement something like that. Because I don't see a reason why I'm going back home after the whole chaotic day that I had. I'm going back home around 6, and I literally will have to be on the road for 2 hours, 3 hours because of trucks. It doesn't make any sense.
This is why I have a little bit of problem with Nigeria. Okay. It's not like we don't have these rules and policies to guide us. Yeah. We do have them. They have been created, enacted, and they've even been passed into law. But implementation is the problem. You see that today, somebody is flouting the same rule that you have created. I mean, nothing stops you from taking action. Nothing stops you from taking, what you call it again, penalty actions against the person. At least if it happens to 1, 2, 3, 4 truck drivers, everybody will learn a lesson. But hey, I'm not sure they're even willing to even do such a thing like that, because you know that even they themselves, they even flout the law they create. So you don't even have mouths. They say you should clean the thing in your eye first before you can clean another person's eye.
I agree.
I just really hope that this bridge lasts for long, because really it's beautiful and it would be nice to just preserve it.
Yeah. So, Joy, let's hear your headlines.
Anyway, I'll be moving away from the African continent and I'll be going to the international spectrum. And today's story is coming from the Guardian newspaper in the United Kingdom. The major story reads, former Supreme Court judges add voices to call for Israeli arm bombs. And right underneath that, there is the Netanyahu faces global outcry over killing of aid workers. Now, the story I just want to quickly review is the major headline that reads, former Supreme Court judge add voices to call for Israeli arm bans. Now, the story reads that 3 former Supreme Court justices, including the court's former president, Lady Hale, are among more than 600 lawyers, academics, and retired senior judges, warning that the United Kingdom government is breaching international law by continuing to arm Israel. Now, in a letter to the Prime Minister, the signatories, who also included former courts of appeal judges and more than 60 cases, say that the present situation in Gaza is catastrophic, and that given the International Court of Justice finding that there is a possible risk of genocide being committed, the United Kingdom is therefore legally obliged to act to prevent it. Now, the reason why I really wanted to pick on this story is it's funny how we all are saying the war in Israel should come to an end, the war in Gaza should come to an end. Right. And yet we find some countries continually arming these countries to fight their war. And it's quite disheartening. So that day we read that because of this same war that they were throwing bombs and missiles and everywhere, 3 soldiers died. 3 different aid workers, rather, 3 aid workers died. And then you see that the 3 aid workers that died are not even aid workers from Israel or from Gaza, but rather from another country. And we're here lending our voice to say, please stop the war before something will hit Nigeria. And we hear that 5 people are there. Because Nigerian story again it's quite dramatic.
I agree.
I mean, when COVID-19 came, before we know what was happening, we heard that 1,001 people, like 1,004, was almost gone. And then you're now wondering, okay, where are the people? How come they don't have family members? Are they isolated? Nobody to cry over them or something? Do you understand? So it's quite heartbreaking to come and find out that, okay, there are other countries who are literally supporting this war. So my question now is, okay, so what is now going on? Is it that these people literally would have stopped this war since, if not this whole United Kingdom and other countries who are arming these guys to continue their fight. So for me, it's more than let's lend our voices now to Israel and Gaza to stop the war. It's more of UK and other countries who are arming these guys. Can you just stop it? We are literally looking for peace resolution conflicts here, and you're still bringing more ammunition. How does that help? It really not helping anything. So I just hope that since court judges have actually come out to add their voice to it, let's hope that the judiciary system is going to even make an effect and a change to the current situation. That's what I just pray for.
I mean, you've literally said it all, to be sincere. Just like we said yesterday, I don't even see a reason for all of this whole fights. It's too much. And the truth is, the more this keep happening, other things tend to get destroyed. Now you're complaining. I mean, it's a whole lot.
And the story is actually saying that it's clearly getting into a genocide that's being committed. So imagine from war we are getting into genocide. Come on, man. Nah.
It's a whole lot. I think not that the judiciary are on board. I think we now need to listen to them, because I mean, it feels like the executive is not doing anything. Even the lawmakers, where are they in this whole war? So I think that since the judiciary have decided to step up, they should give them a listening ear, you know. And I believe that, I mean, I trust my judges and the lawyers, and I know for sure that they will do well. So yes, we get on a short break, guys, and then we'll come back. We'll be diving straight to the topic of today. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Today we're discussing the topic, the dynamics of social justice movement. Remember, you can join the conversation by either sending us an SMS or a WhatsApp message. The numbers will be displayed on the screen. So yes, baby, joy. I feel like this is a very interesting topic because nobody seems to actually talk about it. You will not always hear it everywhere, you know. So today we want to talk about the social justice movement we have all over, not just in Nigeria, right? And we want to see if some of this movements should actually even be in place, or probably they should just be taken away. Let's see the importance of this justice movement, and you know, require probably solutions, and probably if they're ineffective, what we can do to make them effective, right? So the first one on my list is the Black Lives Matters. That's the BLM. Now, this Black Lives Matter is a global movement that originated in the United States with the aim of addressing systematic racism and fighting for racial justice, right? Particularly in the relation to the treatment of black individuals by law enforcement and the criminal justice system. Now, this movement was founded in 2013. So it's not even long, 2013. Now, I don't see, first of all, I know we've had a discussion around this whole racism thing. I remember there's a time where Oni was saying something around the fact that somebody died or they shot a black person in the UK. So I feel like it's a whole lot. First of all, why is there even a thing like racism? No, seriously, because I mean, if we all come from the idea of we are all humans and we are the same, we are created by one person, I don't see why you would see another person and be like, nah, look at how you look, you're black, nah, you're not my skin, and all of those things. It doesn't really make any sense.
Okay, so thinking about it on a second thought,
okay,
I'm actually seeing it from a picture and angle because most of the white countries were our colonial masters and our colonial leaders.
Okay.
So they had this mentality that so long you're black and you have a dark skin or a chocolate or millennial skin,
you're below
you
us.
are not even just below us, you're meant to be underneath.
Okay.
You're not meant to move there. So by the time you're coming into their space and you're coming to thrive, because another thing that's very, very obvious, and that is a fact, not just being obvious, but is actually a fact, is that whenever any black person tends to get to a white country, the person blossoms and flourishes even more than the owners of the country and the owners of the land. So when that kind of thing happens, right, they come to see that this place of this person that is under me is coming to take over my space and is doing way better than I am. And since they understand that this is my land, this is our space, this is where we are, so they think they have every right they can, and they want to just ride on that ownership to take over it. And they feel that the best way to curtail the situation is by carrying out racism. Because again, if you look at it from another angle, when white men come here, we don't do it to them.
Exactly my point.
So it means that racism is just from a white angle. From the white country's angle. And it's, I just, as in, over the years, I've heard about racism. But thinking about it right now on the second thought, I'm like, are you sure it is really, really not because of this? Because imagine, let's take both of us now for an example, right? Now, I was somebody, in fact, you are more like somebody, let me use myself as a bad egg now. I'm somebody who doesn't know a shit about anything. I don't know anything. I have no idea about things. But I have these resources as my beck and call. I have gold, I have silver, I have bronze, I have diamond, I have crude oil, I have cocoa, I have all of these things, right? But I just don't know the good effect of it. And then you that just have what? A piece of glass, and just because it gives you a reflection of yourself, you know that you want to ride on my intelligence because I don't have that intelligence space, and you want to ride on it, and I allow you to do that. So in your mindset, you feel you're more intelligent than me, so you need to be the one having ownership of these things. And then you just want to ride on that ego of it. And then the next day, somehow, a few years later, I come up and you're looking at me again and you're like, wait, it's not this girl that I used to use Miro to collect her crude oil from. Where is she getting all this knowledge and sense from? Do you understand? And then I now come into your own space to tell you, okay, you know what, that mirror you're doing, I can manufacture it with my products. I can manufacture it with my resources. And then you're getting to see that, okay, so slowly by slowly, if I allow this thing happen the way it's going to happen, I might slowly be going into extinct.
So
and that space and authority that I was preserving, that I was taking ownership of, and actually slip away from my hands. So why don't I make them feel more less of themselves? Because that's what racism is all about. It's not even about, oh, you're black, look at you black. It's not. It's making you feel way less than yourself. And I'll quote Mugabe when he said that, when he talked about him using, that he doesn't care about what white people say about the black, but all he's happy about is that the God, I don't know if I want to call it the way he said now, but the tissue paper he used to clean his bum, when he uses number 2, is white.
Oh my God.
So imagine them demoralizing you to that state. So it's more of, I need to bring you down. That's where it's coming from. I don't need you to see yourself very important. I need you to see yourself as you are real. That I really don't know. But I think if it's going to work, it has to come from the black countries themselves, and not from the blacks in the white country.
Right.
Because this is what happens. I'm already in the land where the racism is done, and nothing is being done about it. You can just wake up in the morning and you're hearing story that a white police officer shot a black man dead, and nothing happens.
It is more like a normal thing there.
It's like a normal situation. In fact, those guys are waking up in the morning. In fact, they don't even thank God they saw a new leader. They say, God, this new leader I've seen. Let's not be that it's make mistakes, stray bullet that's hitting me. Because of what? I have a black skin. So it's really not, I'm not seeing the solution coming from they themselves who are literally suffering it, and there's no solution to them. I think it's more of, if the black countries are ready to stand up and fight for this thing and fight for it, it's going to stop, or it's going to really, really curb the situation. Come from me from an angle of, okay, so you people are killing us, Abby, because we are black. No problem, no crude oil for you again. No gold for you again.
So I mean, should that be seen as probably a solution? I mean, are you saying that the only way that we can probably just probably stop this whole racism thing is by now not giving them probably like the things that we have here? It's just like the Botswana and like that African country. They are literally like very big on diamond. You know, they are, apart from all the countries that produce diamond, like they're the largest and the biggest, right? And without this country, literally, I don't think diamond will be all rounded as it is now. So are you saying now that if a country like that decides that, you know what, I'm not selling my diamonds to any white country anymore, probably just to the Africans, since we are Africans, are you saying that would curb racism.
So I say it will really curb racism because, again, the white country need Botswana to produce diamonds and give them diamonds.
Right.
It's not something they can get on their land because they don't have the means, they don't have the resources. Their lands are really not fertile enough to get these things. So they need the African countries. And this one thing I just don't know about Africa. You people don't understand that without you guys, white guys would not survive.
Because
They literally eat, feed, and breathe on most of the things we produce.
So what are they now bugaing?
It
does not make any sense on this one now.
That's the point. So they keep making you feel less and less important of yourself and making you believe that, come on, without us, you are nothing, whereas it's the other way around. So imagine a situation where we get to say, okay, you know what? Stop stop killing
the black
people. Stop racism. We've done dialogue. It's not working. We've done peaceful protest. It's not working. Okay, no problem. We're blocking our borders. Go ahead. Maybe you don't want to stop it. No problem. You can't come in to come and take it because the moment you come in, you are going for it. So you can't come in to take it. So by the time they're now reasoning, those guys are intelligent now. No matter what happens, their citizen is always first for them. So they want to always build the economy for the citizen to be comfortable in the country they govern. So, I mean, coming from a place of, I can't access this money again because why? We are killing these people's brothers. As for me, I'm ready to stop. Clearly, bear in mind that it might not necessarily stop instantly because, again, I think one thing I have noticed, or one particular trait I've noticed about majority of especially the G5 power countries, they ride on killings. They ride on, I have the best ammunition, I have the highest, I have the most deadliest ammunition. And I wonder, why should that be a criteria for you to be the highest country in the world?
Right.
So I see that killings is not something that would literally go into extinct anytime soon because, I mean, if somebody's riding on that power, come on, man. Tell me something else.
No, I agree with you. No, seriously, I think that's one way we can actually just curb this whole situation, you know. Because I don't even see a reason why, Nami, they give you something, you can't buga on top of. Like, bro.
But what do you think about self-defense?
Self-defense.
I mean, to these guys who are being killed unnecessarily, how do you see them doing self-defense as a solution to this issue?
So first off, I mean, for what I think is when it comes to this whole racism thing, right? Now, I mean, like the Black Americans, for example, you see cases where probably they are moving. Probably they are driving, for example, and you see like a white officer want to stop them, and you hear cases of raise your hands up. I mean, there was a movie I was watching where the guy was just driving on his own, and the officer was like, raise your hands up, and it's like, hold on, and he wants to just probably get like his comb. Before you know it, there was a whole shoot everywhere. So I think when it comes to self-defense, the only way to avoid, because the truth is these persons are ready to kill you. So the only thing I think you should do at that time is probably obey them, listen to them. In that kind of situation, I mean, that guy would have not died if he have actually just raised his hands up as the guy instructed. So I mean, that's one way. Probably just listen to them at that time because this guy is with a gun.
Well, you know, with obedience comes marginalization.
Well, he's with a gun. So okay, so if you were in that shoe, what would you have done? You would have literally not obeyed him. Bro, you'll be 6 feet. So when it comes to self-defense, I think you should probably look at the situation on ground. Look at what's going on as at that time, right? Now, when it comes to, I mean, as we spoke about this African country now that produces diamond, right? Their self-defense to any problem that they have is not giving out their resources. Do you get? So it depends on the circumstance you find yourself. That will not determine the kind of self-defense you want to play in. You can't, just like they say, you can't bring knives to a gunfight. Doesn't make any sense. When the guy is telling you, come out of the car, bro, Avas is with a gun. Bro, if you want me to dobale, I'm going to dobale. Life is more better than that. Regardless of how they're going to see you, they might now start seeing you as family low, just as they are right now, right? But I feel like at that time, you have to just listen to them. That's the only self-defense I think just make any sense. Because if you are trying to outsmart him, see, you're going to have a bullet on you, period.
But I kind of feel that also would also present them to be kind of weak. And I'll give you a simple instance to that, to why I see this. So I remember one day I was trying to go to Ogun State from Lagos State. I was going with my colleague, and I think, was it at Yanowero? When we got to Yanowero, we were trying to get a bus from Yanowero to Abulegba. And right there, we had gotten inside the Sienna bus, just waiting for other passengers to come in so it gets filled to go to Abuleba. And then we saw crowd, people were shouting, hey, hey, hey. And then I turned to Leo, I said, what's going on? So they said it was a policeman that was actually fighting with a particular driver.
Yeah.
And then the guy raised his gun up and was ready to just cock it and shoot into the air. The woman came up. I don't know if it's a young woman because I really didn't see her face. This woman came up and said, you want to shoot? Okay, shoot the gun. Now, there was no distance, so this is the lady, this is the policeman, this is the gun. Whoa. I'm like, at least the guy is holding a gun for the sake of your life. Can you move? He said this woman did not move an inch. Even my colleague was saying, okay, so maybe if the man shoots that gun in the air now and the thing hits you, say you will stand there and be talking or saying things that you think that is right.
I feel
but
like
then again, at the end of the day, because she understood her environment, that's why I like the fact where you say you need to understand the space where you are.
The second
she kind of understood her environment and she knows that such a thing might not happen
Yeah,
because there were a lot of crowds.
I get
and
it.
then these guys will not just want to show that power because there are people to just lay an ambush on him right immediately after that. So somehow she was able to save the driver from paying a reckless amount of money that he was going to pay if nothing was done about it. Because at the end of the day, nothing was being shot. The gun was not shot because the guy was also like, people plenty here. So a lot of people gathered. And this is now going to bring me to the next social justice movement, which is environmental justice movement. Now, environmental justice movement focuses on addressing environmental issues, particularly those that disproportionate emerging impact on marginalized communities and then also often low income communities of color. Now, it highlights the link between environmental degradation and social equalities, advocating for fair distribution of environmental benefits and burdens. Another thing about environmental justice is that the activists work to hold polluters and policymakers accountable. Now, it also promotes their sustainable development and it also empowers the affected communities to participate in decision making. Now, this particular social justice, it's quite very interesting because speaking from a place of marginalization, if environmental policies are being made to say some certain things do not hold. Take, for instance, that particular story that I just said that happened in Yanowero. If these policemen are just coming to a place of they're being held to book, they will know that the guy actually didn't do anything wrong. There was somebody who did the wrong thing there, which was actually their own car. But they did not see because why? I'm law enforcement agency. I'm the law itself. Nothing is going to happen. So the person who is now trying to mitigate the situation to pass another route because he needs to pass. Whether you are law or not, you are not law. You are not the road at least. So he needs to apply the road and then needs to pass. And because he passed, you're holding him down and you want to collect more than 100,000 naira from him that day. Whoa. A bus driver for that matter. And I'm asking, okay, so where was he going to get that amount of money from? How much is he making a day to start with? He's going to get that ridiculous amount of money to give to you, which now brought the woman to come up there. And how environmental justice movement played up there was that the environment was already tense. People were like, shoot this gun if you want to shoot it today. We don't care what happens. Say one person will die, no problem. Out of this one person that will die, 3 of your own will die. We were ready for that. People were ready going to carry stones and things and up.
You see why I like Lagos.
Somehow it was going to bring into jungle justice, which is what we are not speaking for. We are preaching against jungle justice. That's not the right way to apply things. But because these people understood their rights, and then like I always point out to the woman understood the environment she was. So she knew that this is a place where I can hold this policymaker accountable for what he's doing. I can hold him accountable to say, no, this you're doing is not right. You're not supposed to do this. By all means, both the law and by the constitution, you are not meant to do this. So with this kind of system, I feel like if we continue to apply this particular justice movement in Nigeria, it would help a lot in curbing some menace in the country. So I feel that's why I say the problem of Nigeria is not totally on the government alone. Take, for instance, we are all here complaining the weather condition is very hot. Oh, the weather in Nigeria is hot. We are dying of heat. Some people would throw a joke to say the last person that went to hellfire forgot to close the door.
Don't worry,
So
I said that one very, very
So the
well.
entire heat is just emanating out and it's just hitting on everybody. Oh, some people come, some so-called religious people come to tell you it's the end time. It's just letting you know that we are close to getting into hell. And I said that's a terrible life for the kingdom of darkness, because the end time never said that everybody was going to go to hell.
Yeah.
The end time is saying that Antichrist is going to come and we're going to suffer for the next 7 years. So what concerns suffering for 7 years?
Pastor daughter on it.
Antichrist concerning heat that is stopping me in Nigeria. But aside that, I think another thing that's contributed a lot to this whole climate change in causing a harsh hot weather condition is that we've been doing a lot of carbon dioxide burning. And these are the things we've been saying over and over again. You'll be walking on the road or you're in a car on the road and you're seeing another car is driving on speed and his bonnet is burning. You're literally seeing smoke. I mean, when I passed them, I tried to look at the driver. I said, okay, so what part of you does not have sense right now to see that?
Especially from those truck drivers. If
it's not bus drivers, it's Korope. If it's not Korope, it's Marwa. If it's not Marwa, it's truck drivers. If it's not truck drivers,
emphasis
it's
on
some
those
of these
truck
manufacturing.
Drivers.
It's some of these manufacturing companies.
People.
So they tend to emanate all those things and pollute the environment.
Yeah.
So imagine a system where environmental justice system is working in Nigeria. Most of those things will be, by the time I see you, because I know that this system or this movement is working, I would hold you to book.
I agree.
I would call you to, and I said, no, you can't drive this car. Go and check the problem, because obviously something is wrong and that's why this is happening. So you need to go and rectify the problem so that this doesn't happen, because it's not normal and it's not conducive for our health. So this is the role I think that environmental justice system would play a lot. It will help in creating a more conducive climate weather for everyone.
No, speaking to that, yeah, I agree with you totally. Like, seriously, you would literally be passing the road. I don't know about these buses and all of this, but you see those truck drivers, emphasis on those truck drivers. First of all, they don't even service their engines. They just put the truck on the road. The noise they make alone is annoying. Then when they now start passing, everywhere, oh, Holy Ghost, everywhere will be all smoky. You begin to wonder, where last did this guy do a servicing today? Because it is draining, it is annoying. See, if you're going somewhere, if there's somewhere important you're going to, and these truck drivers pass you, trust me when I say you'll be so pissed. Because even the smoke too, sometimes we start smelling on your clothes.
Yeah.
You start having, no. Imagine, sometimes I begin to wonder, all these individuals with asthma, how they actually cope. Because with all this Lagos smoke, hey, God. Seriously, it is, like, how do these people with asthma, how do they cope? Because this smoke alone, I don't know. How do they cope? How do you think they cope? Because there was a time I was going to school, right? And I hear cases of people that have asthma, how they died actually on. I don't know if you've heard cases like that. You hear them say, oh, the car no they move again, no. More go check what they happen. And they, like, I think, see, this particular social justice movement needs to be on ground. It needs to be very effective. It needs to be implemented, because a whole lot of things are going wrong. You talk about the climate. Me, I'm not even on that one. These people that have asthma, because it's a whole lot. It's something that would literally put, like, it will discomfort them. It will drain them completely.
And that's the role that environmental justice play a lot in the lives of people. So its role is that it tries to enforce the application of the rights of health.
Emphasis on health, please.
So it plays the role of the rights of health and healthy environment for citizens. So its major role is that it just creates that conducive, healthy environment for citizens to even thrive and live in. And also, another thing I love about it is it connects to Black Lives Matters.
Yeah.
It really connects to Black Lives Matters, because according to USEPA, which is the United States Environmental Protection Agency, it defines it, excuse me, it defines it as a fair movement and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, regardless of color, regardless of national origin, or even income. So it means that even as far as income, I know the other day we were talking about welfare policies. Environmental justice also move around to welfare policies, because according to welfare policy, we also said there needs to be rights to free health services. So
like
inclusive of, so regardless of the income of anybody, there should be at least a right to health services.
I agree.
So that's what the environmental justice system also tends to fight for and protect. So that's why I just love it, because it interrelates with ourselves.
So yeah, speaking to health the NHS, right? I mean, let's quickly take a break. When we come back, I literally want to speak about that, around this disability, like these people with disabilities, because I
Yeah.
feel like there needs to be a movement that is working, like an effective movement for this person, talking about the job, how they take care of themselves. We'll talk about it. Let's quickly go on break, please. Stay with us. You're still watching Waste Breakfast. You've just tuned in. We're discussing a very beautiful topic, the dynamics of social justice movement. So, I mean, we've spoken a lot. We started from the Black Lives Matters. We talk about the environmental need, you know. Now, I'm talking about the disabilities rights movement. Like I was saying before we went for break, it is very important that we talk about this particular movement. The disability right movement advocates for the right, inclusion, and dignity of people with disabilities, right, who have historically face discrimination, stigma, and barriers to participation. Emphasis on participation. Now, in a country like Nigeria, trust me when I say it is very rare to actually find people with disabilities working in the office environment. It is rare. Like, I don't think I've even seen it before. Have you, Joy?
I haven't. It's pretty
And
rare.
somehow, I mean, I am not saying I'm not saying people should employ them or not employ them. I mean, I'm not the one to pay these persons, right? But what I'm saying is, even if the private sectors are not doing anything about these persons, I don't see the government, I don't see a reason why the government should neglect its citizens, right? Because the truth is, these individuals with disabilities are also citizens of Nigeria. So I don't see a reason why this movement itself should not even be in existence. Thank God it's in existence. I don't see a reason why it should not be effective. Now, it is not just making people know that, oh, these people have rights. It is also ensuring that these people are living well. You talk about the welfare policies. Now, I remember even when we were talking about the welfare policies, I explained the fact that these people with disabilities, it is very important that these people are well taken care of. Because now, we both just confirmed now that in so many private sectors, you will hardly see people with disabilities, whether people that are blind, people that probably don't work properly, and all of those things. It is very rare. You would actually now, you will not find them, probably they are begging, or they are trying to, like, they are working on their, like, having their own, being entrepreneur, right? Being, working by themselves, which somehow, because I mean, when you look at these persons now, you see that they do this hand to mouth kind of thing, because they're not earning much. They have a very little capital. They are what they are selling. The truth is, you cannot make too much, or you cannot make enough profits if the money you use to start, that's your capital, is little. Imagine you start probably a business with 2,000 naira. Trust me when I say that day, I'm not sure say except probably what you're selling is something that people buy every time. But if it's something that just moves once in a while, right? Probably like pure water or something. Trust me when I say I'm not sure you'll be able to earn enough that will take care of you, pay your house rent. Don't forget that the landlords of nowadays, yeah, the price and all of those things. No, only one person, probably now, if this person now have children, how do they cater for those people? How do they take care of them? How do they pay their house? How do they pay for school fees? So I feel like the government should come to this person's aid. They might not be complaining, doesn't mean they don't have issues.
Yeah.
You know, we might not see them do all of those protests and come out to say, oh, we have issues. Doesn't mean they should. I went to last year when Peter Obi was doing his what do they call that now? His campaign, right? There was this youth dialogue they did, and everybody, even down to a child, came to talk about the fact that they don't have enough facilities in their school. I remember a blind man. He came out to speak for him and his fellow individuals with disabilities, right? So I feel like these people are not always spoken about. Trust me when I say I am very sure that when there's always like maybe a press conference on, or where there is a press release about probably the government is talking to the citizens, I'm not sure there's anywhere in their head that they included people with disabilities. I'm being serious. I'm being very serious. I've never for once heard a case where they said, oh, this particular law was made, in order for these persons to be supported. No, it is not supposed to be so. In a country like this, it is not supposed to be so.
But there's I think there's a law around people living with disabilities.
It is not enough to have a law that is not even implemented. Don't do that now.
So, see, let's even come up from, I hear you very well, Lo, but I might just a little bit deviate from what you just said.
Okay.
And this is where I'm coming to parts that it's not an obvious social justice movement.
And that is the problem. Why is it not obvious?
So let me calm down now. You get where they go.
Oh, yeah.
Follow me well.
They
say we follow who know road.
Ayana, should we know road? Yeah, let's
so
go.
it's good a thing that we're talking about disability justice movement.
Yeah, rights movement.
But please, there's one social justice movement that is very, very hidden. That is not coming to the eyes of a lot of people.
And what's that?
And that is small businesses justice movement. Because guess what? Small businesses are literally suffering in silence. A lot of them are suffering in silence, serious silence. Most of the times when I look at my boss, I look at her, I'm like, God, Omo, I feel for you, Mao. I really, really feel for you, because in the midst of all of this chaos, no, you are just one kind of a species of human being. And that's why I tend to respect all entrepreneurs out there. It is not easy running a business, a company, paying overhead costs
in a country like
this country. Not just in this country, in a country like this.
In a country like that's the word. In a country like this.
So now imagine the kind of situation that these companies are suffering. And you are saying, let's go and bring somebody who is disabled to that space. Bearing in mind that this person would need extra time, this person would need extra space, this person would just need extra accommodation, right? To just make sure the person does the work, because he can, for reasons just beyond our control. You can't just flow like the other human beings. Hello, the world is moving fast. And we're in a system where we're literally struggling to survive. So how do you even want the business owners to cope? So for this to now happen, we have NGOs. We have all these amputees foundation, we have blind foundation, we have this foundation, we have blind schools. So as opposed even saying, let's even incorporate them into the normal world, I could say, yes, that is good. It also makes them feel among our citizens in society. But how about we start establishing their own, and let's see what they are ready to bring. Let's create a sector for them. And let's see that these guys can actually bring something on their own, as opposed to hiding on that. Because it's very possible to say, oh, this blind person was the person that did this thing in this office, but it might not necessarily show forth like that. And again, when the country is already killing SME owners, small business owners, and many entrepreneurs in the country, they will not have the mindset to think that, oh, there's this one person that is disabled, this person is on a wheelchair. That I have, knowing that if I employ somebody on a wheelchair today, I'll have to build a space where the person can literally roll in. You can't pass a staircase now. I imagine my company is built with staircase. I mean, what do you want me to do at that point? I'm not ready to come and be carrying somebody every morning. And I'm not ready to stress somebody to be rolling wheels every morning.
There are actually wheelchairs that are able to like pass staircase.
And so, how many of it? Tell yourself the honest truth.
I don't even know if
how
it's
many
in
of
Nigeria.
these have you seen in Nigeria? Because those things, I've seen them in movies outside the country, but not in Nigeria. But the ones I've seen in Nigeria, that is not even the one that, it's very few people that have the one now that uses the button control. The ones I see majorly are the ones that they use their hands to roll in. So imagine that kind of person saying, I want to apply for a job in a company that has staircase. How?
That's why all this thing boils down to the government. That's why I said I'm not saying that the private sector should accept these persons, because I mean, if you look at it, you'd see that most of these private sectors, there are a whole lot that they are doing that some of these people with disabilities cannot do, right?
Yep.
But that's why we have a government. See, what is the meaning of government? Government can be defined as a group of people who come together to govern a state or a country. See, there was no differentiation of who those people are.
Is that
they did not say people that are working well.
Do you get?
That's my definition.
Is that your book context meaning or
no,
outside Nigerian meaning or Nigerian contextual meaning? I just want to know. It's a question I ask. Is that your Nigerian contextual meaning? Because in Nigeria, that's the meaning of government.
Can you imagine? Oh yeah, now give us
Nigeria.
I know
talk. I know they talk, but we all know that that's not the meaning of government in Nigeria.
No.
But now I'm not talking.
I mean, I'm giving them like a universal definition of what government is, right? Now, if with this, you see my definition, there was nowhere it was indicated that it is a certain persons that the government are governing. No. The government, everybody, are taking care of every person. So I don't know why there is, if you are probably speaking to people in one place, this country, this country. No, but seriously, I feel like this right needs to be worked on. There needs to be an impactful, like an effective declaration on it. I feel like even when our president or when anybody that's in the government angle is talking about citizens, there should always be this inclusion that, oh, these people will see you, because somehow they just feel like everybody in Nigeria, they are okay. Even if we are okay, people with disabilities are not.
Okay. Yeah.
These people need help. They might, I said it before, they might not come out to say it. That doesn't mean they don't need our help. You know, I was telling you of that program I went to. That was, you know, the man had to come out. He said, see, there are a whole lot. And this man, when he was speaking, he said, growing up, he was not blind. But due to, he said, the time was coming back from work and they were fighting and all of this, and I think they broke bottles and that's how he entered his eyes. And that's how he got blind. And now he has seen it that really it's not working. Now, first of all, you had to stop your job. You have 3 children to take care of. What do you do? How do you do it? So I feel like this government really needs to come to the aid of this person so that it can. I mean, there should be, even if I don't know what there is, to create
means to live on and give them an income to live on and prove their worth and talents, because they are disabled. It does not disable the talents they have. It is only a physical stuff, not a mental stuff. Their mental brain are still functioning. Talents, their God-given beauty, talents were not disabled. It's just a physical state of body. So yeah, by the time we are able to do all of this, I'm sure we'll get back to that. Amen. But then again, speaking of social justice movements, we've talked about so we fought Nigeria on behalf of the people.
Oh, okay.
We fought outside the country on behalf of Nigeria. Yeah. How about we fight for Nigeria itself again and other African continents, countries rather, pardon my English, other African countries that were colonized. And the social justice movements that moves for them is the indigenous rights movement. And indigenous rights movement means that it centers on the rights, the sovereignty and self-determinations of indigenous people, and not just indigenous people, people who have faced colonization, disposition of land, and cultural erasure. And I'll bring that to Nigeria here itself. There's something about Edo State I'm beginning to be excited about. Now, Edo State is beginning to retrieve their artifacts that were stolen so many years ago by the white country. So a lot of their Nok culture, all of this culture that my creative art teacher will be forcing me to draw. I'm like, I'm not from Edo State. Come on. Why would I be drawing this man's hair? Like, oh God, I don't get it. One man with how many crowns on his head? But yeah, Edo State is beginning to retrieve those artifacts from the European countries that stole them. And that is an indigenous right that has started in Nigeria. So imagine it's just transpassed from not just Edo State, but it goes down to every other state. And we try to get back our hidden culture and treasures from outside the country. Another indigenous rights movement we need to look at is this Ogoni cleanup in Rivers State. Now, that has happened for, this particular cleanup has taken years, and we've not seen any effects. So I don't even know if it's from the government or it's from the people himself. But wherever party is from, I don't want to know. I'm not interested in it. What I'm interested in is we need to move for that we need to move for indigenous rights movement to clean up the land, because those guys are suffering and you're just taking a lot of resources from them and they're suffering in silence. So if it has happened with Edo State, I believe it's going to get into River State. So it will be nice to start seeing Nigeria artifact again. And I cannot wait to just go to Edo State one day and get to see all of this original, not the fake one, the original artifacts. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I feel like this topic cannot be overly emphasized, to be sincere, because each of these movements are very important. Each of these social justice movements are very important. Without them, see, we would continue to have issues. We keep saying, oh, this country, they're not together, and you're not asking yourself why. Like this disability, now trust me when I say, I will not be surprised if somebody from that is disabled, right, is now saying, I don't like Tinubu because it's not speaking about
it's
us.
not even that. They should not come out and, they don't want to take care of them. Don't even come out and vote them. Because at the end of the day, these guys will come back and meet you and give you one bag of rice and say, come and vote for me. And at the end of the day, you're still going to sell your rights. Don't even vote them. Since they don't want to think about you people, you should stay. We on our own part. We'll do our own widow's mites and do the little we can to help the society.
True. So yes, I mean, I feel like you've learned a lot, because I know for sure that you have, because I have, and Joy has as well. It was a very insightful conversation.
I learned a lot.
We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be diving straight to the book review. Please stay with us. You're still watching Waste Breakfast. It's the book review segment. So yes, the book to be reviewed today is authored by James Clear, titled Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is the bestseller. The book has hit one on the New York Times bestseller list for 2 months in a row, and is the #1 bestseller in 5 renowned lists. As of July 2019, the book has sold over 800,000 copies worldwide in 9 months. So yesterday we talked about the chapter 1, right? Where we said a particular behavior you do every time, no matter how tiny it is, it automatically becomes a habit. Today now I want to talk about how your habits shape your identity and how your identity shape your habits. Now, first of all, I mean, yesterday I'm very sure I gave a good definition of what habit is. It's a particular way of behaving. Once you do something on a regular basis, repeatedly, it automatically forms and becomes a habit. So yes, speaking to the chapter 2 topic, if you can identify the type of person you want to be and the behavior that the person has, and you begin to believe and associate yourself with that behavior, then you can change your habits based on your new belief, and soon it will become your identity. Now let's quickly talk about, let me give a more elaborated explanation on how your habits can change your identity, and how your identity can change your habits. Now, how your habits can change your identity, you know for sure that you want to be, probably you want to be seen as a very quiet person, and you're always talking everywhere. Nobody will see you as that. That will never be your identity. Now, if you want to cultivate a habit that would make your identity look good, your habit itself. You know, yesterday we talked about the process, about how from one stage go to another. It's something that will not just happen once. I told you yesterday that for you to get success, it's because of your daily effort, you know? Something that you start from small, a tiny behavior, a tiny effort, automatically forms into success. Now, the only way you can change your identity or get a good identity is by now coining out those good habits. Imagine somebody saying, oh, I want to be seen as a person that maintains hygiene. I want to always maintain my hygiene. I always want to be clean, you know? You can only do that when you start emulating good habits. Things like, oh, when you finish eating, you take out the plate, you have to trash your waste bin and all of those things. With time, you start formulating this good hygiene, and before you know, you become someone that knows how to maintain cleanliness, you know. So yes, that's how it is. And same goes to your identity shaping your habits. If you see somebody that has a very good behavior, that behaves well, you like the identity of this person, and you start emulating it, and you start doing it small, gradually, you automatically have a very good habit. So literally, that's what chapter 2 is saying. But I mean, I would like to hear Joy's opinion on it.
Okay, so I like the part where the identity part where you came from when you read the chapter 2. For me, when I read chapter 2, I saw it from a place of branding and personal branding. So your habits can actually influence your brand as a person. That's if you decide to make yourself a brand. Now, how it can also shape your personal branding, your personal brand as a person. Now, becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continually edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity, and that's your personality. Now, the ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part and parcel of you. So you're one person that you want to present yourself as a global standard brand, and every day you're waking up in the morning and you're acting like a razzmatazz person. The global space will not recognize you as that kind of person. They will not resonate with the kind of brand you say you want to portray, right? So if it's something that you need to first of all understand who you are and ask yourself the question, what is the type of person I want to become? Who is the type of person I want to make the world to view me as? So by the time I know all of that, I'll now be able to understand that, okay, so these are the important habits I need to portray, I need to use, I need to make use of to just make myself this kind of person or this kind of brand, or to even build this kind of brand for myself. So a lot of times we need to understand that our habits are very important for us to use in creating a personal brand, especially for those who are very, very big on personal branding.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, as we wrap up this enriching dialogue, a heartfelt thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, it has been an exciting round from the newspaper down to the book review. So, yes, be sure to join us again tomorrow for another captivating discussion. Don't forget to, watch The Waste Prime Time at 8 p.m. because, I mean, those people, the only thing they know how to do best is bring out brilliant points. So you go watch them. So from me and my awesome buddy, it's goodbye for now. We are eagerly